Martin Lappin here for Alternative Heating Solutions. And yesterday we had a quick video about the obvious external changes to the stoves. And I failed to mention yesterday, all these changes weren't done just to say, okay, we changed this. Everything was done with a purpose and a reason. Like with moving the door closer to the cabinet, that'll reduce creosote and condensation on the inside of the door, along with the deeper baffle on the back of the door. So we did away with the drip tray. You can see that was the drip tray. It came with the older G series. And it's not just the HeatMaster brand. When you're into gasifying stoves, the top doesn't run that hot. It's just basically baking the wood to release wood gas. So you're gonna have a buildup of condensation around the door and creosote. It's just the nature of the beast. And it was brought up that yes, the new ones do not have the viewport. And there is a reason for that. With the new lower refractory, you really wouldn't be able to see much except for that plug. The new refractory, let's see if we can do this from the top. Oh, you can't quite see it, but the slot goes into the side of the lower refractory. This gets the gases spinning. And once they start spinning, they're going to go back over to the front, then clear across the front to the right side. And I'll get the tool and remove that plug. I've already taken the included tool and loosened this plug. Just basically big thread. And you can see here, if I can get the phone in there, see, there's where the nozzle dumps in. Dumps off to the side so everything swirls. And like I said, goes to the back a little bit, hangs a left, comes to your side, hangs another left, comes to the front, hits that cute little diverter, goes across to this side, then back, then to the left again, then up. And mainly that plug is included, let's say if you had some firewood laying in the drive and some gravel froze to it, and now you have pieces of gravel in here, or even metal. The guys that hunt here are bad about leaving them screw-in climbing spikes in the trees until the tree grows over it and busts them off and leaves the threaded part in the tree. I've picked those out of the G200 more than once. But for the most part, or I should say normal operation, there's enough turbulence and enough velocity that the ashes are carried clear out to up here and down the side. You don't have to normally clean that. That's just like the end of the year thing to get any heavy pieces out that can't be carried out by the flow of burnt gas. And now, while I'm right here, I will say their refractories have come a long ways in the last couple of years. I just put new nozzle in my G200 in January and ran it the rest of the winter, and it barely shows any use. 3 years ago, the original nozzle, in about a week or two, you could tell the edges were already getting rounded off. They had one of these at the factory, jammed 7 cords of wood through it, then removed that lower refractory and literally had to chisel it apart, and it showed no wear yet. Oh, we're just doing a little teaser now at the back of the 4000. I mean, there's the 4000. There's the trusty old G100. 4000, G100. And the first thing, dedicated outlet for the recirculation pump. No extra switches or anything. Main power's on, pump's on. Power's off, pump's off. Nice and simple. And here's what I think is going to be fantastic, is these valves are 5 inches higher than they are on the G100. So that just gives you 5 inches more room to make your connections on the pump. You can see we got 2 dampers. We'll get into that more on the next video. Still the same motor, and I know some didn't want to hear that because some people had issues with them on the other series. But now the housing's been changed, the cooling's been changed on it. There's additional cooling that I'll show you in the next video for the motor shaft itself, and they now have high temperature bearings in them, to where the old series just had standard off-the-shelf bearings. And from now on, all G series will come with the shunt pump included. It's part of the price, don't have to pay extra. Through testing, they found even if you had proper flow and had no boiling issues, the mixing still wasn't 100%. So with the adding the recirculation pump, now the mixing's better, so you have more BTUs stored in the water, which means the stove won't run as often, which should increase efficiency because you just eliminated some starts and stops. This has been Martin Lappin with Alternative Heating. Women don't find you handsome, at least they can find you handy.